This morning, I'm going to take y'all to work with me. There's something I've been thinking about lately. Something I want to show you. And we'll talk about it later.
Alright, so what you're looking at here is an international paper mill, and right behind it is a Georgia Pacific sawmill. What I'm going to show you today is at the sawmill. Be there in a minute. Logging trucks bringing in the timber. Okay, see all these rows, just rows and rows, timber, followed by more rows of timber. You see these little things here, these concrete pads, these weren't here just 2 months ago. They just built these. See, rows and rows. See, I've done this job for about a year and a half now. They just built these here recently. There's another one that they just newly built. Now you see this road here, this truck's going in front of it. This road out here, I don't have to go out there today, but there's even more of these structures to hold all these logs that have been recently built. So what I'm getting at and showing you all of this is what I've been thinking about lately. Why is the price of lumber so high? And why are we being told that there is a shortage of lumber? I gotta get back to work, finish the day off. I'll talk more about this later.
Now, I don't claim to be some sort of economic expert, not in the least. Even though, I majored in finance, got a degree in it many years ago. I found the subject to be horrible. I didn't like finance, didn't like economics. Total waste. Shouldn't have went to college. But I can't help but feel, that economics, at least to me, is a very boring subject. And I have no inclination, no drive to really learn more about it, honestly. There is one economic system that somewhat interested in. You could call it Austrian economics, which I don't know a lot of the more nuanced intricacies of it, but to put it simply, as I understand it, it's just that they refused to allow themselves to be parasitized by these capitalistic internationalists, you could say. Pretty reasonable. Common sense, sounds like to me. I guess that's just the simplistic view of it. But anyway, what I showed you there at that sawmill, now I know this is just my perspective, my extremely limited perspective. I'm sure there are many much larger sawmills around. But this is one that I have to drive to pretty much every day that I work. And like I said, those rows of timber that I showed you, the structures that are supporting them was just built 2 months ago. And like I said, as I was leaving the sawmill, pulling out from there, that little gravel drive that I showed you, there's even more, many more rows of these structures to hold the timber. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was talking to the receiving manager there at the sawmill, and I asked him, what's the deal with the lumber prices, And he said he really doesn't know. He said he would imagine that the price should go down, which it has. I believe it was back in May. The price of lumber reached its all-time high. I think it was around $1,500 or $1,600 per 1,000 board foot. I checked the price earlier, and it's I think it's at $711 per 1,000 board foot right now. So it has, it's dropped. It's been a very volatile commodity. They sell these commodities, using futures contracts. I guess the investors, they wish to see an uptick in price. It seems like a whole lot of speculation to me, honestly. But yeah, it's been extremely volatile, and it's a real curiosity, you could say. A lot of people say that it's due to, labor shortages, the coronavirus, lumber shortages itself, which is, I think, kind of bullshit, personally. I read that here in the United States that we domestically produce, I think it's a little over 70% of the lumber that we use. And the other 30%, well, most of it, comes from Canada. And whenever, the coronavirus lockdowns, all of the Canada, they're very restrictive on these things, and it's really limited their chances of exporting lumber to us. Timber, I should say. So, like I said, this is just one sawmill. I'm sure there's many larger ones. And this is my very limited perspective, but it certainly seems to me that there is not a shortage of lumber, at least at that particular sawmill. I mean, even the manager that I mentioned that I'd spoken to said that, honestly, right now they've got more timber than they know what to do with, which is why, hence, they are building all these extra structures to hold the timber until they can process it, convert it to lumber. Anyways, this is just something different, I do believe, a lot of these shortages, I mean, it's not just lumber, but, I've heard a lot of people talking about the grocery store shortages here recently, how it's, a lot of people are saying it could be a very dark winter. And, some of these goods, we import, I'm aware of all the huge pile up of all these ships that are, holding these shipping containers. They have nowhere to dock, nowhere to be unloaded due to labor shortages or whatever different reasons. I'm weary, honestly, of what a lot of these financial publications say, because, they're controlled by the elite. They're not going to let us know what's really going on. Personally, and I'm sure many of you are of the same opinion, this is all orchestrated. This is all by design. But anyway, like I said, this is just something different. And let me know what y'all think, what your theories are in the comments below. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.